Good evening. Welcome to this live. We are playing with the technology as usual. So we are live on lots of social channels all at once. So welcome if you're joining. Let me know where you're watching from in the chat. Say hello. Don't be shy. We're going to talk about lead generation strategies for LinkedIn. I'm going to show you 3 ways you can do it, simple ways you can do it tonight in tonight's session. So do let me know where you're joining from in the chat. We'll just give it a couple of minutes to let everybody get in and let the world be notified that we are here ready to roll, and then we'll crack on. So please do join in the conversation on whichever social channel you're watching so I can see. Hi, David. Hi, Janet. Hi, Vasco. Hi, Piers in London. Let us know where you're joining from. Yep, Brill, JC. It looks like YouTube and LinkedIn are the winners. Some of you are watching this live on my profile. Some of you might be watching on Maverick's profile. Hi, Brian from Florida. There we go. James from Hillside, Illinois. Lisa from Northwest England. Lisa, whereabouts in Northwest England? I used to live there. I'm sure you guys in the US are hotly watching what's going on, the midterms. I'm a little bit of a politics buff, so I'm a little bit obsessed with that. But we're not talking about politics tonight. We're talking about getting leads from LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you 3 ways. And it's nice to see so many people: Claire, Alan, Andy, Darren, Vivian, Crystal. Yeah, so there's a good group of people here tonight, which is brilliant. And Mike from LA. Mike, I'd love the weather here because right in the UK right now, it's freezing. Leeds, Mark, I bet Leeds is cold tonight as well. So we're going to start in 1 more minute. We'll just give it a little while for all the feeds to kick in, for all of it. You know how it works. A little village called Parbold. Ah, right. So, Lisa, I lived in Newton-le-Willows, another little village, not a million miles away from Parbold. So, yes. Hi to Best SEO in Dagenham. Crystal's in Texas, Toronto. We've got people from all over everywhere tonight. Holly from Sheffield. I could try and do a Sheffield impression, but it wouldn't be very good, and I'd probably offend most of Yorkshire with my attempts to do a Yorkshire accent. And Paul's here from LinkedIn. Yes, he's here from LinkedIn. From Manchester. Michael from Chicago. So, yes. Brill and Richard Johnson from Leon C. I know Leon C. Becky from Poole. And Alberto from Mexico. So, right. So what we're going to do tonight is getting leads on LinkedIn. Lead generation has got a very dirty word these days. And primarily because some of the tactics people have been using have just got quite grubby, just throwing out pitches left, right, and center. I mean, literally as I came on, somebody messaged me on LinkedIn saying, "Hey, Dean, do you want to come and learn social selling?" And all they've done is signed up for an event and basically spam messaged everybody on the event to try and get sales. And the problem with that is it works for a little while, but it's just a hack. It's just a hack. And so what happens is you can have a go at some hacks, get some traction, but in the long run, you run out of steam. So what I want to do is show you a couple of ways that you can generate leads. You can get conversations with people going that can turn into something business-wise, because that's what a lead is, really, a potential client or somebody expressing interest. Show you a couple of things and then do some Q&A. So I'm going to zoom in on my screen because the chat here is really tiny. So apologies for this. I'll zoom out a bit more on LinkedIn in a second, but that's what I want to do tonight. So I've got 3 ways you can generate leads, and you can go try these tomorrow. I mean, you could try them tonight, but in the UK it's quite late, and by the time we wrap up, it'll be towards the early afternoon on the East Coast. So you could try it tomorrow, or if you're really devoted, you could try it today. So just before we get into it, one of the things I'm going to teach you tonight is a bit more complex that can actually deliver in the whole training. And 2 weeks ago, I did a session and it went ballistic and it turned into a Q&A session rather than me get through all the training. So what I've done is I spent about 5 hours writing this down so that you could have a little guide here. So this is a printout version, but I got a PDF which has got the templates, the examples in it, a picture of me. You can put darts into that if you want to. So this is free, by the way. So I'll put the email address on the screen. And if you want a copy, you can look at my feed and get a copy. But it's actually got one of the main ways I generate leads. I'll show you briefly, tell you a bit about it tonight. But it's got one of the main ways I generate leads, all detailed in here because it's too much to go into in one session. When I teach this, I do this over 8 sessions. So it's quite heavy duty, but the overview in a bit more details in this. So if you want a copy, just drop us an email. The email's on screen. We'll give it you. It'll be tomorrow now because the office is closed. I'm kind of here just flying the flag tonight. So if you want a copy of that, totally free. It's a PDF. I printed it out because I like printing it out. It's probably not good for the environment, but I've only printed one. So if you want a copy, just drop us an email. We'll send it to you. Right. So 3 things we're going to do on LinkedIn. First thing I'm going to emphasize before we get into the lead gen, it's ever so important you crystallize what you offer to your target audience. Because if you don't, you end up giving people a wishy-washy message. And when you give people a wishy-washy message, they can't see the value. So it's very difficult to generate leads if there's not some buying intent or some interest there that people are expressing. So if your profile, I'm not going to dig into your profile tonight, so for another session, if your profile is not optimized towards 1, your ideal client, and 2, the value you bring to those clients, you are going to struggle because people won't know the value you bring. So I had a conversation with a lady today. Vivian's just put, Vivian, drop an email into us. Just email us, Vivian. Don't put your email address in the chat if that's all right. Don't put your email, guys. Please don't put your email address in the chat. Send on screen is our email address, hi@maverick.io. Email us because after the chat, we'll find it hard to find it. So email us, hi@maverick.io. Send us an email. Say, hi, Dean said I can have a copy of the guide. Please send it to me. Don't put your email in the chat. You'll have all sorts of weirdos messaging you. So send me an email. I'll get the team to send this to you. It will be tomorrow because the office is closed now in the UK. No, it's fine, Aaron. I just don't want you being harassed by people who go, emails, let's hit them up. Right. So you've got to have your offer and your audience aligned in your profile. If you don't, you'll miss the mark. You'll either shoot over people's heads or people will just go, this is really vague. I don't really understand it. And let's be honest, you've had those vague pitches. You've had them in your messages. You've had them in your emails. And you go, what are these people talking about? So it's really important you have those dialed in before you go into this place. If you tried to go to market saying, I'll sell everything to everybody, you're going to fail. So Tina's got it already. Tina, you were quick off the mark. Did you get it through the email today? Literally, we got this out today. Literally, we finished it, launched it, published it today. So anyway, right, I'm going to share my screen so I can show you. And I want to show you 3 simple things you can do. Oh, there's tunnel vision there. I'm live on my profile. Let me just refresh screens. Right. So there's 3 things that you can do on your LinkedIn profile. 3 things you can use your LinkedIn profile to get leads. And I'm just going to show you one of them now. The first one that I'm going to show you is what I nickname love bombing. Love bombing. So love bombing is the principle of engaging with somebody to win a conversation. So engaging with somebody to win a conversation. Now, we all know that the more we interact with people, the more rapport we build, the more trust we develop. And so it's easier to actually get a conversation. So let me give you an example. If in the old world, when you'd go and see a customer, you'd go to their office, you'd sit in their reception, and then somebody had, the receptionist would let your contact know you'd arrived, and you'd wait there for the contact to arrive. When you love bomb on LinkedIn, it's very much like that first meeting when you're in the reception and you meet your contact, you shake hands or do whatever, and then as you're walking to a meeting room or to their office, you have lots of conversations with them. So lots of conversations. So this is a more proactive lead generation tactic. But literally what you do is you love bomb people. So let's say, for an example, I'm on LinkedIn and I'm going to pick on George. And George is a mate of mine. He's also a client. So I'm going to pick on him. And hopefully he won't mind. But George, let's say George is my prospect. I would look across LinkedIn for people who are active on the platform on a regular basis. So I look for my ideal clients on LinkedIn who are active on a regular basis. Now, if you're not familiar with Sales Navigator, I'll just show you quickly. We've got a whole session in 2 weeks' time on Sales Navigator. But when you search on Sales Navigator, down the bottom, it shows you people who posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days, which are generally speaking, the more active users. So I can look through my network and find the more active people I'm connected to. So there's 14,000 people I'm connected to who've posted in the last 30 days. So these are going to be my hot prospects. But I'm just going to pick on George for an example. And George, if you're watching this, Truvio do awesome podcast and they're also great at payments. So I'll just pick on George and I'll ask for forgiveness later. You might be watching. So let's say George was my prospect. What I'd want to do is what we call love bomb, is just engage with George on a regular basis to build up some rapport so that when we outreach to George, he's more responsive because it's not some random person anymore, it's Dean. So I'm going to regularly, not every day and not 5 times a day. I'm not going to be like a stalker, psycho killer. I'm going to casually engage with George on a regular basis, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. 2 or 3 times a week for 2 weeks. And then I'm going to drop George a message and say, hey, George, I'd love to have a chat with you about some of the things you're up to. I think some of the things you're trying to achieve, I can help you in this way. Would you have 15 minutes? Simplest way, but you love bomb first. So what does love bomb mean? Love bomb means liking and commenting on his post, not spam commenting, not like I'm amazing, buy my stuff, just adding to the conversation. And then I've tagged him in, mentioned it. I'm going to put an emoji in and wink. Yeah. So I would engage with George on a couple of times a week. Over 2 weeks, do that. Then I would outreach. And we call this the simplest form of it is called love bombing. It's where you invest in somebody to win a bit of trust, build a little bit of a relationship with the intent that you can have an honest conversation with them. You're trying to win 15, 20 minutes of their time. So it's called love bombing. 2 to 3 times a week, engage with that prospect, liking and commenting. That's why it's important to find the most active people on the platform. Do that for 2 weeks, a couple of times a week for 2 weeks. So 4 to 5 to 6 interactions with that person over 2 weeks, and then drop that message in a real low key, friendly way and ask them for a conversation. I've taught this in a bigger, bigger context to massive companies and solopreneurs, and it's a very effective way to engage the most active users on the platform. And note I said the most active users on the platform. So let's have a look at. Yes, Alison. Yes, yeah. We're on YouTube. For those of you not joining, as I said about love bombing, we got a little bit of a spam comment offering to help me find a hot girl. So not that kind of love bombing, people. It's literally engaging with people to win a bit of trust, build a bridge that hopefully your prospect will go, this person make a good effort. They seem like a good human being. I've looked at their profile. I've seen them on the platform a few times. Go on then. I'll give them 20 minutes. Real simple process. If somebody wants my attention, on LinkedIn and I'm busy, I will, and you're probably the same, and it's not a very nice thing, but it's true. I will ignore somebody if I don't know them and they're asking for basically a call or conversation with me. I will not engage unless it's them expressing interest in my services. I will not engage them because I have it all the time. And this is part of the problem of lead gen is so many people are just throwing stuff at the wall that what happens is it degrades it for everybody. So you have to work a little bit harder to actually make it work. So just a little bit of a tip here. If you're going to go down this kind of love bombing route, be careful when you do the outreach message that you don't look like you're trying to do business with them. Don't try and pretend or look like a customer, because that will leave a very sour taste in that person's mouth afterwards, because they'll feel misled. I've had this done to me a few times where people say, oh, Dean, I'd love to talk about your services and how you could help us. You get on the call and you realize actually it's just a setup for them to sell to you. So that's the first one. Love bombing is a simple way to follow it. So really recommend the love bombing process. Engage a couple of times over 2 weeks, a couple of times each week for 2 weeks, and then drop a message in to ask for a conversation, but keep it relevant. Show that you've done some research. I did a video on this morning on my LinkedIn feed, which explained a slightly different way, but it's very similar to the love bombing concept. So that's tip number 1. Any questions on that love bombing principle? Any questions? Any questions there? No? There is a little bit of delay on the line today, but that's real simple process. Anybody can do it. Takes a bit of practice and it takes organization because you're not just hitting people up and moving on. You really have to make notes and if you've ever been on our session before, we talk about the social selling tracker. It's again, drop us a line on email and we'll send you a copy of it. It's a way to document who you're pursuing, who you're building relationships with. That will make a lot more sense. So social selling tracker is a simple way. Love bombing. It basically means you're being really nice to somebody over a concerted period. John, is it okay to ask for a chat for synergies? This is what's for me, when somebody says synergies, I immediately, maybe that will ask the audience, when somebody says synergies, I would always go, they're trying to sell me, but they're trying to hide the fact they're selling me. I've done messages where I've gone, look, I've seen some of the things you're doing. I think this is great. I saw your post about this. I'd love to talk to you about this because I think we could really add some value in this way. Can I get 15 minutes to explain? If it's not for you, no problem, but I'd love the shot of telling you a little bit more. It can be that conversation. Remember, LinkedIn isn't email. So if you're messaging on LinkedIn, it's not email. It's a bit more casual than that. So, John, you could be a bit more relaxed on that. Good question. So Tina's asked, do you prefer messaging on LinkedIn or email? Well, I can answer that with a slightly different way. I'm going to share my screen again. And one of the things I look for, and this is really useful for you, Lee, there's Lee. I think Lee's on the live, actually. One of the things I look for when I'm in the feed, I'll just scroll a little bit. So here's Jackie. I know Jackie well. So Jackie here has got the green dot. So because Jackie's got the green dot, I know that she's active on the platform right now. So a lot of people don't have that dot. So when you're looking through and scrolling through, a lot of people don't have the dot. Or they have a hollow dot, which means they were. So Danny's active right now. Chris is active right now on mobile. Cyril's there, but it's hollow dot. So David Perry's there. So I'll engage with David Perry. You can see the dots there. So if I message David right now, he will know I'm there, but because the green dot's there, I know he's active. Now, if there is no green dot, and I'll just flick back to my live chat so I can see you. If there's no dot, or it's a hollow dot, then I might go, well, do you know what? I'll drop them an email, but I'm not going to put an automated sequence on it. Most people build all of this stuff and they don't even know if it works. I mean, seriously, they build all this tech stack stuff and they have no idea if it works. So they spend all this time building something, implement it, and can't be certain it works. I prefer go manual, make sure it works, build the relationship, but then automate what you can, but don't automate everything. You can't automate a conversation. You can't automate a pitch well enough. You just can't do it. So I look for the dots. If the dots are there, I'll go to LinkedIn. If the dots aren't there, I might go to email. So hopefully that helps. If they post every day, do we still keep it to 2 or 3 times a week, or is it a good idea to react to everything? Well, I wouldn't react to everything. It might look a little intense, but I would react maybe 2, 3, 4 times, but I'd put some breaks in there. All good on the questions there? Everybody good on the questions? So I've got one more tip to show you. And then John saying it doesn't work. I paid $1,000 a month for 7 months. Wow, that's a lot of money. But spend time looking for the green dot. Yeah, look for the green dot. So automation, yeah, you can't. The email is hi@maverick.io. Hi@maverick.io, and we'll send you a copy of this for the PDF. Yeah, all good? Yeah, automation does not work. There are things you can automate, like calendar reminders and things like that, but there's a lot of automation. You just can't make it work. Just really can't make it work. And to put John's point, the best form of outreach is something you do yourself. I know that's not comfortable. I know that doesn't feel good. You'd rather automate it or outsource it. We help some people with outsourcing, but it's never as good as the person themselves. Why? Because that robot can't be intuitive enough. It can't see and look. And if you outsource it to somebody, whilst I'm a bit hypocritical in one sense saying, because that's what I do, or part of what I do in my business, helping people with content and all that kind of stuff. It's not as good as the expert, the person who understands the business from the inside. It will never be that good. So yes, a green dot. Awesome. So right, next. Then we'll do this one here in summary form. I've got half an hour left, so I have to keep some time for questions. So what I'm going to show you next is something we call a loaded poll. George has already come back to me. Yeah, so George is already there, come back to me. And I'll tell him he was my guinea pig for a webinar. I'm sure he'll love me after that. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up, and I'm sure I'm going to be cheeky and say, if you want some help with this, drop a line into us, and our young Josh here will give you a tip, give you some tips and help you with this. So Josh joined the business a couple of years back, and we call him the king of loaded polls. So here's a picture of him. Last week, he was teaching people in person how to generate leads from a LinkedIn poll. And I'm going to attempt to do some justice to that now and show you in a second. Hopefully he's got a poll knocking around. Here he is. So Josh, on a regular basis, puts out a LinkedIn poll. And in that LinkedIn poll, what he does is he asks questions that helps him learn what people's main priorities are. So it takes a bit of practice to create a loaded poll, but when you make one, people vote and they tell you. So in this scenario, Josh got, where do you need to improve? My content, my lead generation strategy, my brand awareness, all of the above. And 131 people voted. And now if I was Josh, I can look at these votes here and follow them up. So anybody who says my content needs improving, Josh can find the 20 odd, 24, 5 people and go, hi, spotted. Thanks so much for voting on my poll. Spotted you want to improve your content strategy, your content. Would you like some tips? I'd be more than happy to help. It takes a little bit of time and practice to adapt these, but we've helped people adapt them to cybersecurity, to technology, to consultancy, to coaching, to everything you can think of. But it takes a deep understanding of your target audience and what they are looking to achieve. So the loaded poll is not a, do you like red or blue? Do you have sugar on your cornflakes in the morning or not? And it's not, would you buy my stuff? It's asking people genuinely where their priorities are, where their pain points are, and as they vote, they tell you how you can help them. And Joshua will have 6 or 7 polls that he'll use, and he'll repeat them every 6 to 7 weeks. The same poll he'll reuse every 2 months, call it. Every 2 months, he'll bring that same poll out and do exactly the same thing. Now, one thing to bear in mind is if you've not been posting consistently on LinkedIn, what can happen is you don't build up the traction of an audience. And if you don't build up that audience, you won't have people voting. So it's really important you're growing your network with your target audience, growing your network with ideal clients. And I wanted to just show you, it's in the book, but I'll show you quickly. I didn't plan on doing this. In the book, we have something called the LCC method. It's a simple way to connect with people in a more relational way than just sending cold pitches or cold connection requests. So the LCC method is just about engaging people before you connect to keep your connection request as high as possible. Now, if you were love bombing people, you would absolutely get the connection request, but this is a lighter version of doing that. So I would absolutely make a commitment to every day, not connect and pitch, but grow your network with your ideal clients so that you're building it up. And if you're posting consistently, you'll start to build that traction that will make these loaded polls work. It might start with 10 or 15 votes, and it'll build up, and it'll build up as you start to create more content for your audience. Now, we aren't touching content tonight, but we have got some sessions later in the month about content. So you could kind of bolt this together with that. So loaded polls, Josh does very, very well with them. It takes him about a week and a half to follow everybody up, thank them. Do they all come back? Of course they don't. Do they all book a call? Of course they don't. But he's doing something consistently to bringing a flow of leads, and he's getting consistent numbers of calls each week. But it's not 100%, let's be honest. Nothing works 100%. But he's doing it consistently. So it might be the first poll you get 15 or 16 votes, you get 20 votes, and you pull one or two people onto a call. It's a start to build up. And this is where many people miss the opportunity on LinkedIn. They do something once and then quit when it doesn't quite work. I made the decision about 5 years ago, maybe a little bit longer now, but 5 years ago, to go all in on LinkedIn and put everything into it. And I said, I will figure this out and I will make this work. And I'm going to post daily to learn how to post better. And I'm going to do messaging, and I'm going to do all these things to learn how to do it the best way. And it's surprising when you commit to something that you actually get to achieve it, because you're committed to improving something. And very often, particularly with loaded polls, people do it once and go, oh, that didn't work, never do it again. Or that didn't work well enough for me, never do it again. No, you iterate. Everything that you do is iteration, improving, improving, improving. Loaded polls, fantastic way to do it. And if you're really nice, go find Josh on LinkedIn, drop him a connection request and say, hey, can you show me how to do a loaded poll? And he'll either jump on a call with you or he'll send you an email with a bit more info about how to do it. But he's up for talking to people. He knows how this works. The reality is LinkedIn, social media, selling through social media is about building relationships. So he'll help people knowing full well, I don't want to use it, it's a cheesy word, but there's karma. Yeah. And I don't mean like karma. I mean, you might help somebody who recommends you. You might help somebody who suggests you work with this other people. You might help somebody who actually wants to give you some business. So we help everybody because you never know where that can go. And actually, I helped one person and it led to a really big project. So we've learned early on that helping people matters. So if you're struggling with that or struggling to come up with ideas, drop Josh a line. He'll show you how he comes up with his ideas and give you a couple of tips. So loaded polls, very effective for getting leads, very effective for engaging. Amit, thank you so much. Bradley, could you share your screen to show how to set one up? A loaded poll? Yeah, I can do a loaded poll. I'll share my screen now. So just to set a poll up, so I'll just do one now quickly, and maybe you can go have a look at it on your own screens. So I go to create a post. Down at the bottom is the poll. In 2023, which is your LinkedIn priority? Getting leads, building personal brand. Oh, Peronal brand. What's a Peronal brand? Building personal brand. What else could be? Building. What can I put in there? Leveraging content more, and Finding a new job. I'll just put that in as a funny one. Yeah. A laugh. Maybe I'll just put one. I'll just put a smile one. So I've just put this one in as a filler. So there's the question for everybody. I click done. How do you plan to use LinkedIn into 2023? What's the big priority for you? Is it low, not that important? Or is it something you see as part of your development? I'm just asking lots of questions to encourage people to respond. So I've wrote a little post with it. I've asked questions, made the question as simple as possible, and post. So it'll take a little minute to post. And so I've put that up. People will vote. They'll vote how they choose. They might share their opinions, and then away you go. So, and then I can see who votes by category on the poll. So I've already done two posts today. So this is an extra post for me. So I'm not anticipating massive numbers of votes. But that's how you do a loaded poll from a technical point of view. But again, Josh can help a little bit more with actually putting it together in a way that works for you. So let's have a look here. Was that in create post? Yes. So you literally create a post. I'm not going to make another one, but you start a post and it's the pie charts down here. Whatever you do, keep the question simple. Keep the question simple. It's ever so important that the question is kept straightforward. Don't make it hard to read or clunky. So the next and final thing I want to share, I'll just check on the questions just before I move on to the next one, because this is the one that is a bit more tricky. So this next one is a bit more tricky, but actually it's way more effective in the long run. So this process, we call it rapid leads, and it's because it mixes a bit of messaging with a bit of content, but in a very light way. So I'm going to show you how this works. It's a little bit complex. That's why we did the little book, because once you get this, it just runs and runs and runs. So you can keep reusing the same piece of content to bring you leads. As long as you're consistently building your network and as long as you're consistently posting, this thing will work. And it's worked for me for 5 years in various different forms and iterations and versions, and it's worked. And actually, this is the proof of it. So I'm going to show you this one on LinkedIn, because this is what I'm using on LinkedIn right now. So it's a really pertinent example. So what I do is I create a lead magnet. Oh, there's me. Hello. So a lead magnet is basically a document like this that gives some value to your audience in exchange for their email address. Now, where many people go wrong with this is they dump all of those people into an email list, or they create the wrong lead magnet. They create a lead magnet that isn't relevant for their ideal client. So I saw a big tech company doing advertising one of these PDF downloads, and they were advertising it on Facebook, massive technology company selling big enterprise level software, advertising it on Facebook saying 5 steps to grow your business. And when you downloaded it, you realize that this was some kind of technical manual of how you can use an enterprise resource planning system to grow your business. Way bigger, way too much information for any small business. So what they've done is they pitched the wrong document at the wrong people on the wrong platform. So what you want to do is look at what are the common challenges. So for an example, my loaded poll that I did a few minutes ago, people are going to vote on that and they're going to say, oh, Dean, my priority for 2023 is building my personal brand. Okay, great, fantastic. So loads of people vote for that. I then create a guide, tips, explainer, report, whatever it is, about how to build your personal brand on LinkedIn in 2023. Now, do I give them every last step and all of the minute details? No, but I give them an overview so that somebody who can Google and read between the lines could pick up the gaps. But I'm not giving people a step-by-step. Why? Because I want to help them. I want them to be my client where I help them achieve that goal of building that personal brand. Or in this case, I've got the whole steps in here. The only gaps I've left in here are the detail steps to like do this, press this button, press that button. The overview is here of the whole process, including a bit of templates, framework messages that you can kind of cannibalize and make your own. So I offer this to people. So this lead magnet here, and I'll just use this as an example. It's on screen and it's in my hand. This lead magnet here is designed for small business owners who are struggling to get consistent revenue from LinkedIn. They want to use it as a channel, but they're struggling to get it consistently. So I've wrote the overview of how I've taught hundreds of people to do this. And I give that away. And people go, Dean, aren't you doing yourself out of customers? Maybe. Well, not really. And I'll tell you why. Every piece of information, every bit of this information, you can find somewhere on Google. You can find it on YouTube. Yeah. You can find all of this information somewhere. It might be scattered up, it might be fragmented, but it's all out there. So I would rather collate this information, give it to you so that you go, that Dean, he knows what he's talking about. I'll give it to you so that when you go, I want to do this, I need help doing this, you come back to me. But more so, the title of this attracts the people who need it. So I put it out in the feed. I put it out in my thank you messages. I offer it in my thank you messages and share it with people. And if they bite, what can I know about them? If they download this, what do I know? Well, I know that they want to get consistent 10K months or 10K plus months using LinkedIn. I know that that's what they want because they've downloaded it. The title tells me their interest level. So they're interested in a particular goal. When they download it, I get a notification. So I use a little landing page for this, and the landing page I use is listed in here. And I follow up with them. Thank you so much for downloading it. Have you managed to implement any of the book yet? Oh, no. Would you like a call to talk about it? I'll give you some more tips, and I will give more tips. We always do that. We always deliver more tips. We don't just turn into a sales pitch. And then I say, would you like our help to do this with you? And we'll get you up and running as fast as you want, or fast or as slow as you want, and offer them that. And some people say, no, thank you, I'm good now. And we say, okay, deal, no problem. But if you've got value from this, please go to give us a review somewhere, Google or something like that. Because we know some people will come back, but we've done this hundreds of times with about 15 or 20 different documents and followed the people up, booked calls, and it's a low-key way because you're giving value first. You're giving value and following up, not in a heavy pestery way, but you're giving value. So you'll see it here on my feed. I put this up five hours ago. You click through, you can put your email in, you can download the document, away you go. You're on the webinar tonight, so you email us and I'll send it to you personally. But we do this all the time in thank you messages, in posts, use it in emails. We use it everywhere. And once you've got one, because you're growing your network continually, you can use this over and over and over again. It's a real simple process. We call it the rapid leads method because the title becomes the bit that's the most important for you. The content is the most important for the recipient. You can't shortchange people. You have to give them something useful. But the title helps you understand what their goals are, what they want to achieve. So I can also go, well, actually, if somebody wants to get consistent 10K months at using LinkedIn, maybe they've struggled with that. Maybe that's the problem. So when I follow up, I can say, how have you found LinkedIn so far? Have you managed to hit that 10K threshold, or has it been a bit of elusive for you? I can have a whole conversation because that title tells me so much. That title gives me a lot of information. Now, of course, we'll get some tire kickers. Some of my competitors will come and read it. That's the way the world is. But I will prolifically share value, knowing, not karma in the do sense, but good things come back from people who add value. So we call the rapid leads method because you're attracting people through a piece of content. They come through, they download it, and the title and the way this is put together and structured gives you some degree of understanding about where their goal is, where their priority is. So if you put what we class as a neutral title on this, like LinkedIn Explained, LinkedIn Explained does not tell you any of their goals or motivations or anything, but this title does. So that's why we do it the way we do it. And we give these away both on LinkedIn, but anybody who comes to our webinars, anybody who comes to our events in person, we're back on the road again. So we do 2 events in a month. We've got one planned for the US in January, sometime January, February, in Dubai in February, UK, London, maybe Manchester. We give all of these resources away. Why? We want people to go away and go, those Maverick people are amazing. And I want to work with them. That's why we do it. So we add lots of value. So this is called the rapid leads method. We call it that because it gets people engaged straight away. So how do you juggle lead magnet focused on small biz like this with larger corporates, with campaigns for larger corporates? Well, the first thing is, obviously, this PDF is not suitable for a corporate, because if a company is downloading this who's a corporate, it confuses things. But some people do. But what we would look at is, okay, if our target client is bigger, it might be a report, it might be an infographic, it might be some stats, but the principle is the same. If I was targeting the sales head of chief revenue officer of a tech company, I'd be looking at what's his priorities, what's his challenges, and then my title would be the same, and I'd be giving value to him. And it's all about understanding the buyer or the decision maker you're going after, because this is a human concept. It's not an algorithmic hack. This is about appealing to a human being where they're at. So that's how I would approach this with the PDF. So yes, it does work on corporates. We have a corporate division to our business. And we have a company currently we're working with. They've got 120 staff and they're running this same process, because we know that attracting people in through content and adding value early can actually improve the sales process later. It builds trust further down the line. So it's the same principle, Tina. It's just the structure of it, the titling and what's in it is different. And a CRO would have a very different emphasis for a different decision maker. So yes, Tina, what you could have is you could have different lead magnets. I mean, I'll just throw this tip in quickly because I've got 10 minutes. Then I'm going to shut up for questions. Maybe the content for much of this is the same for a small business as a marketing department, say. So marketing department would have want to know the same thing, but maybe this is titled and structured for a small business. I could change the cover, change a bit of the wording, and as long as it still applies for a marketing department of how they could get consistent leads for their sales team from LinkedIn, I could change the title, repurpose the content, not rewrite it, but repurpose, and republish this as the marketeer's guide to getting leads from LinkedIn, for an example. So this process is all about capturing leads, following them up in a low-key friendly way, and then there's some tips on that sales call to help you in the back of this on how to run that sales call, some of the key questions to ask to actually get into a sales conversation. So I could just repurpose it, or I could have a different one for different people. Any other questions on this? This is a big one, right? There's a lot of moving parts in this one. But like I said with the loaded poll, you don't just make it once and give up. You consistently work on this, tweak it. We launch now, because we've done one and we've done it successfully. The second one gets easier, the third one gets easier, the 15th one gets easier, the 20th one gets easier, because you start to learn what works. There's a formula to it for your ideal client. So we know what works now for some of our ICPs, because we've got a few. And so we don't break the formula. We just improve on it each time. We don't try and reinvent the wheel. We just go, let's improve on it. And this one at the moment, the one before this, we had one before this we were using up till about a week or so ago. It's still out there. That was converting at 40%. So that's 40% of people who saw this downloaded it, 40%. And then the sales calls was obviously a percentage of that, and the clients was a percentage of that. So roughly, you can expect somewhere in the region of 25 to 30% conversion from a sales call from a PDF. And depending on your follow-up, you need to perfect your follow-up, but you can get a good 25% of the people on a call. All the other people can go into your newsletter and your email lists and what have you. So, because some of those may not be interested right now, but they might be interested in the future. So there's three things you can do on LinkedIn. One's a bit more longer term and is a bit more predictable because it works every week. This one, a bit more in depth though, so that's why we do the little book. Loaded polls you could start tomorrow. So you could be up and running tomorrow. And the love bombing, you could start tomorrow. So you got two things you could do right now, tomorrow. Start as you mean to go on and go for it. This one, it might take you a little while just to get it built, but don't try and make it perfect. Imperfect action should be your motto. Start, get it working, improve as you go. Some people spend hours tinkering with stuff like this and never actually implement it. It's better to have a rough, in the tech sector, you call it a beta version, see if people bite on it, see if it works, and then go, right, let's improve it. Let's make it better. And the great thing is, once you've got one of these working, just let you into a secret. Once you've got it working organically, it'll work as a paid ad too. So this would work as a paid ad. So you could basically use this as a paid ad. Once you've got proven it, by that I mean you've got 100 people downloading it and you've got consistent stats, you could put money behind this to bring you leads. So John, I'm glad that's helpful. Any more questions? I've been live for about 55 minutes. So any more questions before I do my wrap up and tell you about some other stuff? So next week, you're going to get an email. If you've signed up for this event on LinkedIn or Eventbrite, you're going to get an email to invite you to another session, which is a bit more closed shop. It's Zoom. And on that, I'm going to do ask any questions. So you can ask any questions. You'll get an invite to it. It's a couple of weeks away. And you can ask questions about anything to do with growing your business online, social media, getting clients, growing your business faster. but we'll tell you about that in a little while. If you want a copy of this, remember, I'm going to sign off in a minute. Drop an email to the email address on screen, hi@maverick.io. Tina, fire away, ask the question. hi@maverick.io, and we will send you a copy of this tomorrow. Or you can go into my profile, find the link, and just put your email address in and download it for yourself. It's up to you. Tina, fire away on the question. Absolutely fine. And of course, if you're like, no, I want Maverick's help to get there. I want you to coach me and help me get this built, get this running, get this delivering business for me. Drop us an email and ask for a call. Our guys will see if it's a fit for you. If it's no fit, we'll give you as much help as we can. If there is a fit, we'll tell you all about how we can work with you. You're welcome, Alan. Welcome, Des. Tina, did you have a question? No? Go, Tina. Tina, I obviously know who you are, so drop me a message on LinkedIn if I've missed the question. Drop me a message on LinkedIn. Happy to answer. And guys, just if we're not connected, come find me, come follow me. I really appreciate that. Oh, there. Oh, Tina, yeah. No, you can't jump onto the YouTube and ask questions on here. So Tina, just drop me a direct message on LinkedIn. I'll come back to you. So guys, thank you so much. Do share the love on social media. Do all of that fun stuff. If you've had value from us, write a post about it. Go to Trustpilot, go to Google. If you want more help, email us. More than happy. Oh, sorry, Cheryl. The link is hi@maverick.io. hi@maverick.io. I think we'll put the link in the chat for the this if you want to download it as well. And if you want to book a call with us, we'll put that link in the chat too. So thank you so much for joining us. It's no point learning things. You have to implement. Nothing gets done if you don't do it. So go make it happen. Go get it done. Start getting leads on LinkedIn and watch how it works for you. Make it work. Make it happen. Get it done. Thank you for joining us.
An amazing service but can't get clients consistently, where each month feels like an uphill battle just to make money. Maybe you've had some great months but they're really unpredictable and you just can't forward plan. When your revenue is inconsistent and it goes up and down yo-yoing, it can make you question everything you do. You question your decisions and you try lots of different things to make it work. Different platforms, ads, cold outreach, and it can feel like you're slowly turning into a salesperson, which isn't what you signed up for. You want to make 10, 20, and even 50K your new zero. So what's your new zero? Your new zero is the revenue that you generate each month when you have a marketing system in place. In other words, you know your business has consistent revenue coming in every month. For the last 5 years, Maverick have been coaching hundreds of business owners to generate consistent business. With our consistent 10K plus program, we will show you how to build a consistent marketing system that brings in leads to you. You don't need ads, you don't need to spend all your time on social media, and you don't need to send spammy pitches. In the program, you will get a complete roadmap to help you hit the consistent 10K months at a pace that you choose. We'll build your roadmap to the new zero. We will help you implement the system to bring in more leads, and you won't have to spend hours on social media. If you want to get more clients for your business, bring in predictable income, and stop spending hours trying to sell, book in a call with the Maverick team and we'll show you how we've helped others achieve this and get you started on your journey to the new zero.